Now that we've gone over everything we need to get started, let's make some epic baits, starting with these open pour molds. Hey guys, I'm Jason. My wife Amanda and I started Epic Bait Molds to bring you the highest quality molds and best customer service on the planet. We designed this course so you can go from beginner to expert in making your own baits. Let's get started on today's topic, which is open pour molds. And we have Adam back again to help us. He's the expert bait maker. So first thing, we are gonna start with our plastisol and we want to mix it up. And we are using 242 for this. This is a stirring stick. You can stir it with basically anything you can get down in there and really stir the stuff off the bottom, but something that rotates like that is way better. So we'll stir that.
And we did that quite a bit already, so he just given it a little extra touch.
Yep.
It should look like milky, white liquid.
And then how much do you want in here?
So because these molds are small, this is a 3-inch and a 4-inch bait, really small, we don't really need a whole lot, which is kind of nice about open pouring, so only a half cup.
Okay, so half cup, and this is Bait Plastics 242, medium blend. Where is half? Right there. Look at that. All right, we needed 2 cups, so there's our 2 half cups of plastisol. And now we're gonna throw this into the microwave. And what are we gonna start with for time?
A half cup really is about a minute and a half at the most. You can actually go lower than that and watch it if you're just getting started. So let's start with a minute.
So now that that's heating up, that's gonna take a minute. We also here have our griddle. You don't necessarily need a griddle to do this, but we have this griddle at about 275, 300 degrees. We're heating these molds up there hot to the touch. And that is so that you don't get what's called cold cracking.
Right.
Cold cracking is where, as you're pouring your plastic in, even though it's hot, the aluminum sucks a lot of heat out. So as it's filling up, it's kind of folding over itself and making these lines in the side of the bait. And when we do our 2-color bait in a minute here, when we pour the first color and then the second, if the mold is cold, you'll get a hard line between the layers and they might actually delaminate or
right, they'll pull apart. Yeah.
Another way to do this, if you don't have this griddle, when I'm testing molds, I actually heat them up with this heat gun. I just get this set to maximum heat, blow it on there until it's hot to the touch, and then I pour the plastic in there. So you want this hot because, again, you're avoiding cold cracking as the metal pulls a lot of heat out of the plastic. Now, also, this is a good time, before he pulls that out, we're gonna get our protective equipment on, the gloves, the glasses, and I'm doing that too because I'm back here too.
All right, let's see after a minute how far we are.
I'm gonna move this down.
So this is pretty typical, right? We've got clearish plastic here, but you can see it's still pretty white and milky on the bottom. That means it hasn't fully converted over. So we need to stir that up. And I'm gonna see the white stuff come up on the top. That's the unconverted plastisol. A lot of resin will fall to the bottom because it's thicker. So you can see we're still not there. This is kind of like a jelly. Yep. We need to put it back in the microwave so that it essentially turns clear.
And so our goal with this is to get this over 350 degrees, more like 370 degrees. And we're gonna check this with a infrared thermometer here in a second. But he's gonna put it back in for how many seconds?
Probably another 20 seconds and we'll check it.
Okay. And here's the infrared thermometer we talked about earlier. We'll use this to check that as soon as it comes out. So we put it in for another 20 seconds, pulled it back out. It's still not ready, and you can tell because it's still like a gel. And when I take the temperature while he's stirring, it's 304 degrees. So we're not over 350.
Nope. Got to go in for another at least 20 seconds.
So the reason that we're doing 20-second increments, not going for like 3 minutes straight, is because we don't want to burn the plastisol. It turns into like this brown, fluffy, super toxic smelling.
Smells horrible.
Yeah, and so you don't want that. So at 20 seconds with this little bit of plastic, we can guarantee that we can pull it out, stir it, and we're not going to go over 400
right,
degrees.
You just step it up little by little by little. All right, let's see how close we are. This is looking better. It's already thinner.
That's 345.
345, yep. So another 15 seconds will take us right up to 360, 365. We'll be ready to vacuum it. right, this should be ready to rock and roll. Let's give it a twist, or give it a stir rather. Yep, 374. I saw about 370. So this is perfect, but it does have some bubbles in it that we want to get rid of, which is why we mentioned the vacuum chamber before. So I'm going to put this in the vacuum chamber and pull all those bubbles out so we have nice, clear plastisol.
All right, here we go. Degas.
Degassed, and the bubbles have risen to the top. A lot of them have collected together and burst, so they've been taken care of. But it is not uncommon to have a little bit of foam on top or around the edges. So you can take your stirring stick and just kind of grab that foam and pull it right out, just like that. There you go, just grab a little bit of that leftovers. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we're gonna get the most of it out. All right, since we were in the vac chamber, it's probably cooled off quite a bit. So we need to check our temperature one more time. So we're gonna stir it up and blast that right down in the middle. And yep, it's all the way down to about 330. So we've gotta mix this up with our pigments, and every time we put something in the plastic, whether it's flake or pigment, we're gonna stir it up. That's gonna cool it faster and faster. So let's give it just another 12 seconds, 15 seconds so we can work with it.
And this is a good time to mention two things. One is that we do have our fan blowing fresh air across us, and we're in a huge shop, so this is all kind of going out back. And also with your microwave, this time that you're microwaving is gonna vary. If you have a lower wattage microwave, it might be more time. Higher wattage would be lower time.
Yep. All right, so I think we're ready to make our belly color. And for this instance, or for this color, it's going to be monkey milk from Bait Plastics. So this is a color that will separate and will pack down at the bottom. So quick little tip for you. When you're shaking this, sometimes stuff can come out the top. So grab a towel, wrap it around, hold on to it like that, and give it a good shake so that you don't put it all over the place.
And that's the bolt you can hear.
And you can hear the bolt inside, or steel ball bearings, whatever you want to use. And that'll just break it up so we can get all of those, the good stuff on the bottom that makes monkey milk so darn cool. All right, I think that's good. This is a half cup, so let's go. Usually with monkey milk, I'm around 20 drops for 1 full cup, so we'll do 10 drops for a half. All right, so there's our 10 drops. We'll wipe that off, put our cap back on so we don't make a mess, and give that a stir. Monkey milk is a really awesome color because it's like a pearl white, so it has kind of that soft white look to it, but it has a blue highlight throughout it. So we talked about highlights and pearls before. This is kind of the best of the both worlds. Makes a great single color all by itself, and it makes a wonderful swim bait belly color. All right, so that looks really good, but I love me some flake. I like you some flake.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna put a little bit of flake in this, not too much. So we're gonna go with holographic silver 015. So both of these baits are fairly small, right? 3 to 4 inch, but even the 4 inches is a thinner profile. So we don't want giant flake in this. Gonna go with 015 holographic silver, and we're going to use about a 1/16 of a teaspoon.
And so this will give it that flash, that scale kind of texture to the swim baits.
Yep.
So now that he's got his pigment, liquid pigment, and his flake all mixed up, we're gonna heat it back up because it's starting to gel again, because it's probably 280 degrees or something like that.
Half cup versus 1 cup versus 2 cups. It's always gonna cool down faster the smaller dose you have, right? The smaller amount you have. So not uncommon to have to heat these small ones up again.
So when he pulls this out, we are gonna pour this bait first, and we're gonna pour this entire 4-inch jackhammer in the white color, the monkey milk we made, and then we're gonna mix up a second color, and we're gonna add it to this one. So first he's gonna pour the white in the belly here, and fill this one, and then we're gonna make smoky shad, which is this top color, pour it on the back, just like this little bait we showed you guys earlier.
Yep. So this is just about perfect. It's right around 340, which makes for a very nice pouring temperature. I usually try to open pour between 340 and 350, just so I have a nice thin stream. You want to help me move this over?
Yep. That over.
There we go.
All right, so he's gonna pour the 4-inch jackhammer, and you wanna start on the fattest or thickest part of the body. That way you have more room for actually pouring. And since the mold is hot, this is gonna flow naturally all the way back. And on tails like this, the paddle tail is small. You actually want that plastisol to kind of flow down into the paddle. You don't actually wanna pour like directly on it, because it will actually kind of block that off, and you won't get a complete tail. So as he's filling this up, you're seeing he's bringing it, so it's a nice little crown over the top of the mold.
Yep.
And don't worry if you get a little extra on the edges like this, we can just push on that when it's all cooled, and that'll come right off.
Yeah, because it's an aluminum mold, right? So the edges are gonna be nice and sharp, so that if you do get a little overpour, which you're going to, because you just started, everybody does. I've been doing this forever, and I've got overpour all along there. But it's really simple. You just take your thumb, push it right against that sharp edge, and it looks nice and clean.
Yep, and we'll show you that in a minute. And this color, it's like moving.
Yeah.
All the flake is kind of turning through this plastisol as it's sitting there. That's so cool.
Yeah, silver is cool. Holographic silver gets you all kinds of different colors too.
So this is the 3-inch nugget, and he's gonna pour this halfway up.
Well, there's a hook slot in here so that you can obviously put a hook through it, and it'll come up through as you catch the fish, right? As you hook the fish. So I'm gonna take the belly almost to the top of that hook slot.
Okay.
Starting in the head, and just let it pour or drain down. There we go. Just to the top of that hook slot. If it comes over just a hair, you're golden.
And the reason we stopped there on this bait is because we're gonna mix up that other color, that blue we kind of showed you, and we're gonna pour that onto the top to make the smoky shad style bait.
Yep, so into the microwave, the second half cup.
And when you're not using these cups, put them somewhere where you're not gonna elbow them. Like we'll put this one back here, and that plastic, once that cools, you can actually reheat that and melt it down and pour again.
Yep.
So we got the second cup of plastisol. We're heating it up just like the first cup. We're going, 1 minute, and now we're going in 20-second increments. Right now we're at
Not even 300, yeah.
just under 300 degrees. We're gonna put it back up, get it to temperature, and then degas it. All right, so
This looks pretty good.
We're at 360, 370.
Still have bubbles, which is common, so we're gonna put it in the vac chamber, get those bubbles out.
All right, so he's just pulling the foam or the bubbles off the top again to get it out of the way.
Just like last time. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just get the majority of them so that you got nice, clean cup to work with. Thank you, sir. All right, so now we got to make our top color, and smoky shad. It does kind of look blue. You mentioned the blue, but that's really the flake that makes it look blue. It's not the pigment itself. So the top color is a smoke color, which is just a little bit of black. So just like before, I'll wrap the top, give it a quick little shake. And we don't want a whole bunch of black here. We only want like a shadow, like a smoke color. So our half cup, we're gonna put in 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. We'll give that a quick stir. It's gonna look a lot darker in the cup, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it's just pure black, but when you pick it up on the stick, it's almost translucent still.
Wow.
All right, so to that, now we need to add our flake. And it's, for this recipe, it's 2 parts. It is blue to give us that blue hint, so let's put a little bit of that in. Again, I'd say probably a 1/16 of a tablespoon, or teaspoon rather, for a half cup. So pour that in there. And then we're gonna do the same amount of 015 silver. So that was 015 blue. We want some 015 silver. Same amount, just a little bit. Right around a 1/16 of a teaspoon.
Awesome.
All right, this is when the magic happens. I love to see the flake mixed in.
Wow.
See that? That beautiful smoky top with that blue and silver looks just like a shad. Alrighty, sir, will you move that over for me?
Sure. Here we go.
We had to warm it up just a little bit since putting in our flake and our pigment cooled it off. But I think we are at a good spot. Yep, right at 345. So now we're gonna pour the top part of the nugget. So this is gonna be all the way down into the tail and the top section just above the belly. All right, we'll start at the head. Nice, easy, steady stream. Let that head fill in. And then move back. Don't worry about that overpour right there. It pinches off just like we talked about before. And that is it. So that's our top. We're gonna leave this griddle on. So we want, especially, not so much the first one because it was just one color, but the second one, we've got those two colors and we want them to effectively melt together. We want them to bond together. So we're gonna leave this on 275 to 300 for a good 15 minutes or so and just kind of let it cook. And then we'll turn it off and let them cool naturally. If you don't let them cool naturally and you try to take them off and get them cold really fast, you'll see that divot in the top, right?
Yeah.
And we want to avoid that. So just let them cool down naturally for a really sweet looking bake.
And if you have this way too high, like 400, the flake will settle out, is that correct?
It will, yeah. The higher the griddle is, the hotter the molds will get, the hotter the plastisol then will get, and the hotter plastisol gets, the thinner it gets, which means the flake can't suspend and all that flake will drop to the bottom. So 275, 300, let it do its thing and you should have a pretty good result.
Awesome. All right, we got everything cleaned off and this is cooled down, right guys?
Cool to the touch.
Cool to the touch. We have our special guests here. This is Amanda and I's kids, Kai and Finn. They're having a blast. They're here to help demold these. So now this is cooled off, we need to demold these. But first, as you remember, we said earlier, we over poured a little bit. So we need to push on the edge here. That's gonna pinch off this little piece of flashing.
Just cleans up the bait a little bit, super simple. Just take your thumb, push it right against.
So now that that's off, I'm gonna start by demolding the 4-inch jackhammer here.
So this was the one where we poured it all one color in the monkey milk with holographic silver.
And we're gonna let the boys see first. What do you think?
That's cool.
You wanna pull the bait out?
Oh my god.
Look at the sparkles.
Ooh.
How cool is that? Think you could catch a fish on that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wop, 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 wop.
Looks so good you could eat it.
That's an epic bait.
Yep, that is an epic bait.
Wop, 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 wop.
All right.
All right, should we demold the other one?
Yeah.
All right, we poured an epic nugget as well in the two colors. So this would be a laminate, one on top of the other in a pattern called Smoky Shad.
Yep.
There you go, boys.
What do you think?
That's cool.
Oh, how you look at that? Huh?
Pull it out.
Super cool.
Pull that out, yep. That's the
Take
hook
out
slot.
the hook slot, yep. Pull it right out of there.
Pull it hard. There we go. So here's the 4-inch jackhammer, and you can see it's got that like pearly blue along with the white, and that glitter is like just like shimmering within it, like it's like scales, like micro little scales in there. So as it
And well
swims,
suspended too, all the way through. All that
Yes.
flake suspended.
that looks awesome, man. And so also when you set this down, you're gonna wanna set it on its back like this, leave it for 1 to 2 days so it can cure that way, make sure it's nice and straight.
And here's our nugget. You can see the two different colors and nice and secure. Those two layers are not coming off. Look at how the monkey milk, as I turn it, you can see that blue against the black, doing some really cool stuff. And this one, you can add eyes if you want to. A lot of swim baits you can add eyes to, but I have fished this one quite a bit and it is a fish catcher. So just like Jason was saying with the jackhammer, this has got a flat top. You want to put it down flat as well. Let it cure for 24 to 48 hours.
Yep, awesome. Hopefully you guys learned a lot from this and you feel confident to go get some open pour molds and pour them. If open pour doesn't look like the thing for you, just wait because the next video coming up is all about injection molds.
There you go.